education for all of our citizens is important.
There are enormous benefits from the relationship between the university, the community, and I think they're all really intertwined.
For this community to thrive, UMKC has to thrive. UMKC Women's Council.
The Women's Council.
The Women's Council.
It was envisioned by a group of civic women who were connected to the university and believed that there was a need to create an entity that would support women. The patriarch of the program is Martha Jane Phillips Starr,
who had a vision for what women can do in education.
She came from a life of privilege. The males in her family went to college and got the graduate degrees, and she went to finishing school and learned how to become a lady. What she saw was that emerging in those later years were more and more women going to school, but fewer women in graduate programs. And she said, we need to give these women the encouragement to go for the graduate degrees and be the leaders.
She had this wonderful idea to form first the Women's Council, this unique organization for the university, and then to create this fund, this Graduate Assistance Fund.
Somebody in that other room too. Let me bring you. My name is Maite Enriquez. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm a faculty member here at UMKC in the School of Nursing. I work in the infectious disease clinic, taking care primarily of individuals living with HIV, primarily Spanish-speaking Latino patients. I also volunteer 1 day a week at Operation Breakthrough. So you can't remember what they gave you? In about 1998, I was a graduate student. I was actually getting a PhD. I was a single mom. One of my professors wanted me to go on a trip to Africa to do some work there in Cameroon. It was a pretty expensive trip. So I wrote a proposal or an application to the Women's Council, and so they essentially paid for my trip to go there. It was pretty much a life-changing experience. It really made me decide what I wanted to do, and so that's when I really decided to come back to Kansas City, get really involved in the urban core here, and really try to help, people here in Kansas City. I couldn't have done that without their financial assistance. There's no way.
As long as we have education, and actually as long as the economy continues to go the way it's going, particularly from a state funding standpoint, the need for the GAF funds will not go away. I, along with another individual, have funded a named award up under the name of Alister Hall Dewberry. Alister was a good friend of mine. She passed, unfortunately, in 1998 of breast cancer. She was a UMKC undergraduate student with a degree in psychology and also a graduate of the law school. And upon her passing, I wanted to make sure that she would be remembered in some way, and so therefore that's why we funded that named award.
You see a gamut of stories of women who are married, who have children, in some cases are working full-time jobs while going to school. So it was envisioned that the Graduate Assistance Fund would be established, and it would provide aid where tuition and books left off. So if a female graduate student had children and needed help with babysitting so that she could go and do her research, that's what that fund was envisioned for.
Travel expenses, yes. Sending them to a conference, letting them present their material at a national conference or international conference. Sometimes these smaller things that sound irrelevant are vital to them, and that a few $1,000 will make the difference in the quality of their research.
is significant. And I think that UMKC is one of the few institutions across the country that have this kind of fund.
It's been said that 70% of the graduates of UMKC remain normally in the greater Kansas City area or within the state of Missouri. And so when we make an investment in these students, we're also making an investment in the advancement of our society.
The Graduate Assistance Fund is unique. It is powerful. It's impactful. And I think if you were to talk to our students, it would be meaningful.
I am not motivated by money. I'm a person that's really motivated by relationships. And so I think that's what the Women's Council is about, building relationships. I think it's really an awesome thing that UMKC has this for women.
Gifts of self, gifts of wisdom, gifts of experience, gifts of leadership, gifts of insight, gifts of friendship, as well as the gifts of treasure. This type of gift pays huge, huge dividends to so many, including the donors themselves, but also to all of those that they help and to the community. And not just for the time that they do it, but for tomorrow and beyond tomorrow, and most especially those voices yet to come.